So I wrote this letter to Trump, and you were interested in hearing it. You mind if I read a little bit of it?
Please go
Okay.
ahead.
My open letter to President Donald J. Trump and the honorable members of his cabinet. Erdogan, the president of Turkey, has proven himself to be not only an adversary to the United States, but an existential threat to Western civilization itself. His ambitions are not those of a mere nationalist leader seeking regional influence. They are the aims of an imperialist with a radical Islamic vision, one that seeks to dominate, subjugate, and eradicate all who do not bow to his ideology. Erdogan has openly framed his aggression in the language of holy war. In 2020, during Turkey's military campaign in the Caucasus, he declared, "We will continue to fulfill this mission which our grandfathers have carried out for centuries in the Caucasus again." The crescent has once again risen over Karabakh. These are not the words of a statesman seeking peace. They are the rallying cries of an Islamist crusader who envisions a neo-Ottoman empire built on the ashes of Christian civilizations. Under Erdogan's rule, Turkey has fueled war and genocide. He fully backed Azerbaijan's 2020 invasion of Artsakh Nagorno-Karabakh, which led to the forced displacement of over 100,000 Armenians from their indigenous homeland. In 2023, after 9 months of starvation under a merciless blockade, the remaining Armenians of Artsakh were violently expelled in an ethnic cleansing campaign carried out with Turkish drones, Turkish trained soldiers, and Turkish weapons. This was a war of annihilation, not just against a people, but against Christianity itself. Beyond the Caucasus, Erdogan has extended his bloody reach across the Middle East. In Syria, Turkey's military operations have led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Christians, Yazidis, and Kurds. Turkey has backed jihadist factions responsible for unspeakable atrocities, including the slaughter of Christian communities and the destruction of their ancient churches. In northern Syria, towns that had been home to Christians for nearly 2 millennia were overrun by Turkish-backed forces who looted and burned churches while raising the flag of Erdogan's expanding caliphate. In Iraq, Turkey has carried out airstrikes that have killed Christian civilians. In Libya, Turkey has armed Islamist militias. In Cyprus, Erdogan openly calls for permanent Turkish occupation. His goal is clear: to Islamize and Turkify every region that he deems to be within his sphere of influence. The United States must immediately reevaluate its relationship with Turkey. No nation that finances terrorism, engages in ethnic cleansing, and wages war against Christians should be considered an ally. Notice how strong my language is to the president. Erdogan has used NATO as a shield, hiding behind its banner while waging war against the very values it was founded to protect. It is time to pull out of NATO and sever all ties with these state-backed terrorists. President Trump, you have already warned Erdogan once, telling him, "Don't be a tough guy. Don't be a fool." And you reminded him that you could destroy the Turkish economy if necessary. Now it is the time to follow through. If the U.S. allows Turkey to continue unchecked, history will remember it as the moment when the free world stood by while Christianity was eradicated in its ancient lands. The State Department must call Turkey to account. Justice must be served for the Armenians of Artsakh. Justice must be served for the Christians of Syria and Iraq. Justice must be served for every innocent life destroyed by Erdogan's ruthless ambition. The time for diplomatic half measures is over. The time for action is now. Sincerely, Reverend Tenney.